What's up, guys? My name is Splattercat, and I'm here with the second episode of our Oregon Trail playthrough. Not Oregon Trail. That would be pretty fun, though, too. I would consider playing Oregon Trail, but where we were at, I believe we had made it to Cincinnati, and we were now just on a ridiculous scavenging binge trying to get our supplies up before we head further to the west. So, it's 6 o'clock, zombie activity is high, but my cares are nigh next to zero, so we're gonna scavenge one more time, I think, and then it's gonna be an appropriate time. Well, I'll take stock. I will take stock. I'm not gonna promise anything right now, but I want to trudge through all these busted walls with a rifle and blow the hell out of these undead bastards, because that's like half the fun of every zombie game, is just blowing stuff up. And out he goes. There we go. And so, I've been having a lot of fun with this game. This is one of those weird games every now and again that seems to bite my fancy, or to grab my fancy anyways, if not bite. Biting seems a little aggressive and also a tad painful. Speaking of painful, I had this weird thing happen earlier. Like, if there's a spot, and I'm not gonna, well, okay, there's a spot on the side of my ass, I'll put it like that, and like, if you pinch it, it hurts in the center of my back. Is that normal? That's gotta be weird, right? But anyways, we found 45 ounces of food, and now you know way more information than you need to about the strange configuration of my, I guess, nerve connections, I don't know. But let's look at we got enough food here, we've got a little bit of money, we've got some extra scrap. Let's look at the combat training, nothing there. I don't really remember. The problem is I recorded the first part, I went to dinner, and I came back feeling now I'm all full of like mushroom chicken and chicken chow mein, and now my brain is just shutting down. It's like, well, nap time. So let's sleep for a couple hours. I think 5 hours should do it. And really in this early portion, I don't really feel like there's any reason that we should be stopping too long in any one location. I don't want to rush, and I don't want to put myself in the unfortunate situation of having to scrounge later on, because things get worse as you get further and further to the west. Things get more and more difficult, and so I would hate to have to do things later rather than now. At the moment, I think we're in a good spot. We've got more than enough food. Take one last look at our supplies. I think I was trying to do something to the extent of getting some batteries, and we don't need no, we don't need a battery. We needed like mufflers and tires, as I recall. So let's, oh no, it's deadly right now. I clicked that on accident. Well, this could get interesting. I haven't scavenged when it was deadly in a long time. So we are tempting fate right now. Let's take a long shot at him, because we're going to be going that way, kind of. Yikes. Alright, so there's a bunch of zombies around us, and we're going to want to hopefully keep them at arm's length, or at the bare minimum at barrel's length, because if they get closer than that, we are going to be hoiting. So I'm going to make the attempt at going along here, now that he's diagonal. God, I can't even, there we go, we stopped him just in time. This is a really ugly, hey, we made it, and we got 140 ounces of food. So what we might consider doing is sitting here and trading and seeing if anybody wants to swap out for food. So let's pass a little bit of time, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find traders who want to take our food off our hands. He'll give us a muffler for 14 food. Hey, the absolute thing that we needed actually showed up. We don't need a battery. As you'll recall, we actually finished off and ended up with a battery that doesn't break, and so that's really cool. We've got pretty much the invincible battery. It's kind of like the Gogeta of batteries, but whatever. The Majin Buu of batteries. Let's see here. I don't really know if I want to keep scavenging. This is rough. Let's see if we can scavenge elsewhere. So we've got 212 miles until we arrive at farmland, so hopefully we'll find ourselves some corn, get ourselves some fibrous stuff. Batman loves fiber. And so we found some wild fruit. That's going to augment our food supplies a little bit, or at least offset them a tad. Hopefully by the time we land, oh, the gas can is leaking, and I guess that's a little weak. I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to live with it, unfortunately. You see a pile of zombies feasting on something or someone. Something or someone. I think we know that it's someone. From what I understand, oh, Gazer has typhoid. That's all bad. Gazer, you got typhoid, buddy. Yikes. Well, don't breathe on me, I guess. Gotta go in the back seat with Superman and Batman. Batman has measles. There we go. Put all the sickies in the back. Superman, you're up front with me and Tommy. The farmland. And so he's got an arm off. She's got a jaw off, which is awful. It gives you that nice sneak peek front row center look at her uvula, though. It's a great word. Uvula. Let's take a look and see what we got here. They've got fuel for reasonably cheap. The price is getting a little higher, though. They are buying things at terrible prices, so there's not much to worry about there. Jobs. So we have a difficult situation with bandits at a settlement. I'm going to take that one because I need the 2 mufflers. That's a pretty good trade, so let's see if we can get ourselves some mufflers. I fired too early. Oh, and that one I fired off. There we go. I fired that one too early, too. And I fired that one off course. Maybe I do need the guidelines. Oh, are you serious? God. There we go. That one counted. So let's go for him next, I guess. Well, he's in an odd spot in the rotation, unless I can get the shot off quickly, which I did. There we go. And so we're going to go for the final kill right now. And we missed, so we're going to want to do a little count here. And there we go. We survived the attack. We get 2 free mufflers. So we should have no muffler problems from now on. In fact, I'd love to trade a muffler. Faster bullets. Yikes. I don't really care about faster bullets. I want faster reloads, so there's no jobs left. Let's take a look at the car menu here. And on the road map, I think we left Cincinnati just now. Station wagon's in a little bit of a situation. I mean, it's not in the best shape that it could be. And so I think what I'll do is let's try and repair it. We've got enough scrap on hand. So we're going to do our typical 6 scrap spread. And, oop, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. So let's see if we can no-whammy ourselves to victory here. What's it going to be? Come on now. Yeah, there it is. That's what I like to see. So we succeeded on the first go. Let's take a look at our supplies. Zombie activity's at medium, so let's scavenge a little bit while we're here. Before we get to the next townstead, I would love to have a bit more supplies on hand. I really am uncomfortable traveling without extra tires. I'd love to trade for one, although at this location it's going to be a little sketchy to get one. And it looks like we got some more scrap over here. That will very likely replace all of the scrap that we used up to repair our station wagon just now. From now on, our station wagon is known as Salad Bar. That's what I'm naming it. That's the random name that I'm going to assign to my vehicle. I was going to name it Lucy, but I don't know. Station wagon doesn't feel very Lucy-ish. Like, that's like something you name a Charger. So, you gotta name your vehicle appropriately. I feel like the performance you get out of your vehicle might be directly related to, there we go, 100 ounces of food and 10 scrap. We aren't getting lucky with many other things, unfortunately. I'm going to continue scavenging for a little while, though, because I'd like to have some supplies on hand when we arrive at our next stop. And if we can't get that, then anything that we want at the next stop is going to be outside of our reach. You gotta have that paper. This world is, unfortunately, very, very reliant on the old monetary resources. Ooh, with a long shot right between the eyes. Well, I like to think it was right between the eyes. He did like a side flip, too, in my head. Yeah, there we go. Shot him, and then we'll go grab the duct tape. And then from there, I think we'll be good to go. Sometimes I feel like I spend a majority of time scavenging, just kind of walking in circles, like hoping things go okay. There we are, 30 ounces of food and 10 scraps. So, I don't have enough scraps. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep going. I apologize, guys. I recorded these all in a row, so if you guys said in the first episode, be aware, if you guys said that you didn't want to see scavenging, that makes this whole thing, that's the only part of the game that I find to be a tad repetitive, is you do a lot of scavenging. If they had mixed up the minigame a little bit, I think it'd be pretty cool, but for something that was more or less put together by a handful of people, I looked at the developer. Hey, buddy. Hey, getting a little too close there. A little too close for comfort, man. Let's go ahead and we're gonna grab that baggie o' goodies. There we are. I'm gonna have to kill one of you guys. Maybe both of you guys. Luckily, we got really lucky there and the gun didn't jam, so that could have gotten ugly really fast. 200 ounces of food puts us at 1,200. Let's see. I don't really know if I want to sit here and trade right now, or if I just want to hit the road and we'll go to the next big city and see what we can wrangle there. Let's scavenge until we feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable yet. That's my problem. I don't feel very comfortable yet, so I'd like to get a little bit more cash so that we can walk in and buy the upgrades that are available. And there we go. Get rid of some of these icky thickies right here. Down he goes. There we are. And you, sir, are far too green for my liking. I kid. I love the color green. The color green is my absolute favorite color. It's both the color of nature, the color of gangrene, all kinds of other things. I don't know why I'm firing rounds at these zombies. I don't really need to. I'm just kind of being wasteful for the time being. It's not gonna drop another one for us. $20 and 100 ounces. How's our money looking? $62. Well then. They're kind of trapping me here, unfortunately. I suppose we will continue to grab all of... It's weird how somebody bagged all these groceries and then just kind of left them all over the place. Anybody else find that weird? Like, there's bagged groceries just, like, laying around everywhere. Looks like we got a little bag of flour or something over here. We're gonna have to handle him before we... Oh, they all spawned on top of each other. Okay. Well, that works out. That doesn't happen very often, but on the odd occasion that it does, it is really helpful in getting yourself lined up. And that's all we're gonna get for now. So, running in our circles. This might help if he actually decided to run, but it looks like his legs are kind of stiff, so maybe he can't run. Maybe he's disabled like that. So we got 14, 16. Alright, let's leave town. Let's get on out of here. A bike gang. So there seems to be a large cornucopia of biker gangs willing to attack me for my stuff while we're out here. So luckily we have a titanium. Well, that wouldn't be the best metal to choose. Titanium is actually really soft. That's why they don't make firearms out of it. But we've got a bumper that's made of, I don't know, unobtainium. God, it's such a goofy ore. I hate it when movies use that. Unobtainium. It's terrible. You'd think we could, like, go back after we wreck all these guys and go take all the gas out of their fuel lines. Or to keep it from happening again, we could just cut their fuel lines. That'd work, too. Our car is remarkably resilient. Gunshots will hurt it, but bikes crashing into it at 70 miles an hour, perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We survived the attack. And we've got 160 miles to good old Chicago. So let's be on our way. We got 1 fuel off the side of the road. That's pretty cool. That's helpful. I don't hate that result. Let's take a look at our stats here. We're going to have to deal with fuel again pretty soon in the future. You question the edibility of some of your food, and you toss it to be safe. This food doesn't look sanitary. Everything is funnier with Batman in the backseat. I don't know why. It's all more entertaining. You don't notice a speed bump on the road, and everyone hits their head. So we're probably going to want to rest here in Chicago for a little bit. Let's take a look and see what time we got here. 5 p.m. Zombie activity is at medium. Let's take a look at the available services that we can inquire about. So we can buy bullets. Food is very, very cheap. Scrap is reasonably cheap as well. Med kits and fuel. Fuel is an average price. Med kits are average priced. Let's make sure the auto shop doesn't have anything sexy for us. There's a V6. I thought I said a U6 for a second. I was like, that doesn't make sense. My brain vetoed it. It was like, no, a U6, that is not a thing. That is not an item that exists. A V6 engine. So I guess we've been running around in a 4-banger. Do station wagons have 4-cylinder engines? That seems like a stretch. I thought most station wagons were 6-cylinder, but my car knowledge is lacking, so I will defer to better educated minds for that whole thing. I believe what we should probably do now is we'll go to the party screen, or the supply screen. Is there any combat training available? Nay. Nay, 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 unfortunately. Got a little bit of time to scavenge, so back we go again and out and into the field. Got a little bit of cash right here. I will accept that. They can pay the toll to have our beautiful T-hatted self in their presence. I say that because our hat looks like a little upside-down T. Oh, no. Zombies? Oh, good. The next little supply thing decided to show up in a reasonably accessible area. Anything else? Goodie basket? No? Well, unfortunately, that's all we're going to get for the day. So it looks like we get like 10 scrap and $20. I'm not going to complain about any amount of free stuff. It is what it is. I don't really want to fight that zombie right there, so I'm really going to hope that he can't catch me. Alright, good. $20 and 10 scrap. I was correct there. And zombie activity has gone back up to high, so at this point what we're going to do is we're going to go to the party menu, and we're going to rest because we have a lot of sick people. And so since it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to give them a good 8 hours to get themselves all patched up. That is going to use up a lot of our food, but I think it's going to be necessary. We do have a lot of extra food. Gazer, you are all better now, man. You're not hacking up a lung. You're not making us all nervous. You're not getting the back of the seats all bloody with your expulsions. It is all good. And then I think Batman had... What did Batman had? Batman had something. It was typhoid and cholera, maybe? Or just a fever? I don't remember. That was in the last episode. That was eons ago. I can't remember things from 25 minutes ago. Measles. There we go. God, that's terrible. Measles. That would suck. And so I'm not going to heal. What you'll see is that Splattercat remains damaged. Tommy has been remarkably quiet this entire trip. He hasn't really been involved in any type of debacle, which is good. You know, he keeps a low profile. We'll stop the clock right there and we'll take a look at what time it is. It is deadly time. It's only 1 a.m. Huh, I must have slept a little bit earlier. Well, let's take a look at the jobs, actually. See if there's anything posted that would be interesting. So we can get 8 scrap for a dangerous mission where we're fighting bandits. They're both the same mission, actually. The 8 scrap, I don't know if that's worth it. That's a little bit on... Let's see if we can sell anything for a reasonable price. We cannot. I think we'll have no problem making it to the next town with the fuel that we have. But I think it might be an astute choice or a well-informed choice to go ahead and buy a couple more gallons. So that's what I'm going to do. We will wander our way into the next area without any backup plan. We weren't going to buy anything here. They don't have tires anyways, which is what we want, so we're just gonna bounce on out. It's 196 miles to the remote shack. We've got reasonable supplies. I think we'll be okay. I'm not gonna stress and wring my hands about things too much. We don't have any spilt milk to clean up, so why imagine that there's any there? Heavy ash covers the windshield, which forces you to slow down. It's a little bit of a letdown. Windshield wipers are apparently not available, although I did watch a video one time of when, Gazer broke his arm. He must have irritated Batman or something. But I read a story one time where when Mount St. Helens, Batman makes small talk. So how about this weather? I read a article one time about Mount St. Helens, and it was, hey, we've got an Evil Dead reference. Lovely. So let's head on into the remote shack where they talked about Mount St. Helens erupting, and there was ash everywhere. And I saw pictures, and it was actually like perpetual nighttime. It was pretty crazy. But here they have very little for sale. We've got some extra ammunition, but we have no weapons. But they don't have anything else, and that's usually a pretty good sign. But as of right now, we're not going to be able to get our funds up, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the supply menu, see what the zombie activity is. It's high right now. I think we can get away with a little bit of scavenging, which is something we're going to have to do before we make it to the next town. The next town, I believe, is where things are going to start to get real. So we're going to snap into a Slim Jim here and get ourselves, well, an Icky Thicky. Not a Slim Jim, but... we're going to see if we can... There's a little bit of scrap right there. That's going to be a reasonable pile of aluminum. There we go. And then let's kind of cut our way around him, juke him out a little bit. It almost looked like he was wearing a dress for a second. Could take a long shot at that crawler in the vague hope that we hit him. And our hopes were actualized there with that whole action. I might be cutting this turn a little close, but some of the zombies are going to get stuck, some are not. He's going to be a problem for me, so I'm going to shoot him. All of these guys are going to be a problem, actually, but we made it. So 115 ounces of food with 5 scrap. Not a terrible run, but not one that I'm happy about either. There's money, there's lots of things that we need, and unfortunately, you can get combat abilities that are going to make you better at scavenging certain things. They make med kits and stuff of that nature show up. Those are the really good things to have, because then you can have like 15 med kits when you go into town. Most people are willing to sell you their left genitalia of any type. The left half, the left hemisphere of whatever genitalia they happen to be equipped with in order to get their hands on some med kits in this game. That bullet was not planned, but hey, I'll take a magic bullet. I will definitely take a magic bullet. I'm not going to complain about a good thing. You guys know me. And they're trying to head me off right there, so I'm going to blast away. No more loot, though, so 100 ounces of food and 10 scrap. I think that was the standardized amount we got last time, too. We've got a lot of scrap on hand, so once we get to a location that will actually trade for scrap, I think we're going to be in good shape. We're going to continue making hay while the sun is out or while the zombies are not out. Because scavenging is something that is near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite things. It's a lot of... I heard that you get a dopamine fix off of it, actually. Some researcher did a paper on video gaming and why people like to play loot adventures like Diablo, MMOs, things of that nature. It's because your brain releases dopamine whenever you get rewarded for something. So when you clear like a raid encounter or even something simple like an easy boss and you get like loot for your class of a higher quality than other people could potentially obtain, it releases dopamine in your brain, and so people get addicted to it just like they do a drug, which is an interesting concept because I think a lot of people like to poo-poo the idea of video game addiction, but I've seen people, I personally have sabotaged my entire life over MMOs, so a large portion of my early 20s were absolutely destroyed by the fact that I just couldn't get myself disconnected from World of Warcraft. Luckily, I don't feel too guilty about it because just about everybody in the gaming community seems to have had a similar problem. But, you know, you live and you learn. That's why I tend to steer away from the MMOs nowadays. I try to give them a wide berth, because I get addicted when I play those things. I really, really do. We're going to get a lot of money on this run, which is pretty sweet. I'm gonna shoot him for safety, just to make sure that he doesn't close with me. And let's see what we can do. I had my heart set on Defiance. I was pretty excited about Defiance, and I did really like Defiance, but there's not a whole lot of stuff to do in it. And so after a couple months, I ended up not playing anymore. We got $100 and 100 ounces of food. So that makes me pretty happy. I like where our supplies are at right now. I think we could probably get away with hitting the old dusty trail. Any combat trainings available? Nope. So let's hit the old dusty trail. We got to go to St. Louis. Let's get our way out there. A heavy fog has rolled in, and we are now traveling much more slowly. A fog of a rather rhombosedral nature. Batman finds some money in his pockets that he had forgotten about. God, it's for hookers. God. Oh, I've really got to back off the Batman stuff. I really, really do. The sky has cleared up, and now we are what appears 126 miles away from St. Louis. So hopefully once we land there, we've got a lot of money on hand, so we should be able to get some things done. We can't stop at any time by clicking this tab right here. I don't know if I brought it up in the past. We have to drive slowly because it's raining, but you can click down here to stop the car and scavenge at any point. It is a useful thing to do if you find yourself stranded. Someone in the distance is shooting at you. You hear a bullet hit the car. Jerk. Giant jerk. What was the point of that? Gazer is dicking with 6 scrap and accidentally ruins it. Gazer! Killing me, bud. Killing me. And so that zombie also has a jaw off. I don't know why zombies are always losing their jaw, but you know how it goes. Maybe they have a soft chin. It's hard to tell. Let's see what St. Louis has on order. We got some cheap bullets here. Something that I think we're pretty low on. They have a lot of them, too. So let's make sure there's no upgrades or anything to our characters or our cars that we can get our hands on first. So let's go to the auto shop. The upgrades, we get snow tires, which means we won't slow down during blizzards. Not going to do it. I am, however, going to buy a tire, which is only $37 actually, so that's a pretty good price for a tire. Typically those are a little more expensive. We have an Everlast battery. We have a bunch of mufflers, as I recall. Yeah, we got 3 mufflers, 2 tires, so our supplies there are pretty much rounded out. Let's see what we can sell for here. Oh no, I clicked the wrong thing. Yikes, well, we're going to be on our own then. I was clicking for town, but I missed. So we've come across another horde. It is large and alert. We're going to wait and see if it disperses. I may actually stop us right outside of town and see if I can fix the car before we go much further, because we eat any more damage and we're going to be in trouble. So that was an accident on my part. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. That one was a foobar situation for me. Actually, it's not foobar. I think we can handle it. Let's go ahead and sneak through now that they're docile. Can't guarantee this is going to work. What happens if you get caught is you actually lose a little bit of your kit. It sucks. It makes everybody sad, but I think we made it. So we've snuck past the large, docile horde. So now I think what I'm going to do... There's a cave. Well, let's wait till we get to the cave. I think we'll be alright. 168 miles is only like 4 hours. We have to... Oh, we can't find any water, so now everybody's dehydrated. They're going to take a little bit of damage. It's alright, though, because we got our rest on. We got a little bit of a siesta going. It's also starting to rain again, so we've hit a little patch of storms. You definitely get events more frequently on difficult. That is another thing that is becoming a bandit sneaks up on you and grabs Superman. Well, this whole situation is ludicrous. I should be able to just spray this guy with bullets, and Superman should be impervious, but as always, make sure your barrel is separated by 1 pixel like so, and you should be perfectly fine for that shot. His brains roll all over the floor. We can't take any stuff from him, unfortunately. Superman has taken off his outfit, by the way. He's just going to be Clark Kent for a while. He's got his hoodie on. He's doing his thing. Oh no, 2 medkits fly out the window. Well, you know we can stop, right? Like, the car isn't forced to be moving, but that was every medkit we had, so that's a big problem for us. A rumbling sound comes from behind you. Oh, I was worried about this. And so we got hit with another one of these ridiculous deer herds. So this is a boss fight that we're going to have to duck. I'm not very good at this one, so if we take too many hits, we're probably going to end up down a rather nasty creek. Unfortunately, I'm going to do my best to kind of dodge all of these ridiculous... They're deer, but they kind of look like reindeer, so I'm going to call them undead reindeer. Apparently Santa's workshop didn't make it. I'm going to try and straighten out right there. I can't guarantee... Woo! Just barely made it right there. Oh, I thought it would let me go up a little higher. I was tapping on the up key. I was like, why aren't you moving? Why do you hate me so much? So our station wagon is just annihilated right now, but we did make it to the cave. So let's check this place out and figure out what we can do. There's a recovery mission that's dangerous, but we get 2 mufflers for it. I'm going to take it because we can trade the mufflers for other things, which at this point is looking more and more attractive by the fact that we've been a little low on, not low on supplies, but we have to fix our cars, so we're going to be using up our excess scrap to do that. We may not have enough stuff to vendor when we get to the next location, so we'll live with the results, but we're not going to try and, well, we're not going to avoid remedying our issues. So far, the zombies haven't hit me from that direction, and as I say that, Murphy's Law. Good old Murphy. My parents, when I was a kid, as a joke, just to let you into the dark humor of my family, when I was a kid, my parents used to joke that if we were naughty, they would get rid of us, and that they had a pair of kids before us named Henrietta and Murph. Whenever I talk about Murphy's Law, it reminds me of Henrietta and Murph, the two fake kids that kept us in line because we were worried we would get... And it was funny, too, because my little sister was like 4 or 5, and she actually believed the whole thing. Combat Trainer, Medkit Scavenger. We want this at any cost. This makes medkits show up while scavenging, which is amazing, so we're going to sell whatever we can. We actually get $2 per scrap right here, which is not bad at all, so I'm going to get rid of 33 scrap, I think. There we go, give ourselves 60 scrap. I'm also going to sell food, because I don't think food is going to be in rough supply anywhere until we get further along into the game. So let's go ahead and give them 44 food. There we go. And so now we'll go back to the Combat Trainer and get Medkit Scavenger. So now we're in a much better situation. If we can find ourselves quick reload and quick fire, we are going to be on the road to victory. Let's take a look at his supplies. He's just got scrap. Not the best grouping of options, but he's got stuff here. Let's go ahead and scavenge away the rest of this episode because I feel bad that we left the last location in the way that we did. I feel really guilty about clicking that tab. So let's grab ourselves everything we can. I'm going to scavenge 3 times and then we'll call the episode to a close. We're getting towards the end of our time together anyways for the day, so you never want to have too much of a good thing. You get comfortable when that happens. And so I'm going to deprive you of me, and also deprive me of me because, frankly, I need a little bit of a break. Let's get rid of that. Oh no. No, we got attacked while scavenging. Damn it. I don't like that at all. I don't like being bitten by zombies, guys. It's not a well-known fact, but I do not like being bitten by zombies, especially when I think that I'm skilled enough to avoid them. Unfortunately, I missed a pivotal shot right there, and it cost me. It's gonna happen, though. From time to time, them's the way the dice rolls, and also the way that my skills roll, unfortunately. You dress-wearing fat man, away from me! Away from me, sir! Nope, zombies. No. Alright, so we're gonna grab this foodie bag and hope that we can squeeze our way through a gap in the fence right here without getting bitten. Okay, we made it. 200 ounces of food and 15 scrap. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, what that means is if we take a look at my character, I'm actually probably pretty beat up. Oh, I'm only at half health. Okay, that's not that bad. We don't have any medkits, so I can't really heal anybody, which is another reason why I'm scavenging so much right now. Medkits have a chance to drop now that we have that ability, and I'm really hoping we can scavenge up a couple. Grab that food bag from the corner and really hope that nothing else spawns over there. I'd love to see something show up. There we go. That's about what we could hope for. Start corralling some of these little buggers in the direction that we would prefer. My shooting is just piss poor right now. I need to stop relying on my shooting if I'm going to miss this much. I need to take it a little bit slower. Alright, so I think we're good now. Assuming nothing spawns over here. We are quicker than everything on screen, so there's not a whole lot to worry about as long as you've got a little bit of a lead and you're drawing a tough line against your opponents. 135 ounces of food. Still going to keep trying. I really, really want at least 2 medkits before we get out of here. The difficult mode, I want to kind of juxtapose. If you haven't played the game, on normal, there's just kit everywhere. It's just all over the screen when you scavenge. It's actually pretty easy. You can get several thousand food in a short amount of time. You don't really have to dedicate a whole lot of scavenging runs to get enough food to last you almost the entire trip. I don't know why I shot that zombie. He looked at me funny. He told me he was going to eat my waffles or something, and that's a crime that I simply cannot allow. You eat my waffles, you eat the pavement. Yeah, we got attacked by a zombie again. There was no way we were going to get bit by both directions. We got ourselves trapped. So, problem there. I'm going to have to stop scavenging because our party, I'm wounded. If I get hit again, that's that for me. So, let's hit the old dusty trail. Actually, when's the next location? Let me check the roadmap. So, we've made it to the cave. So the next location is going to be Memphis, as I recall. I was going to say Nashville, but Nashville's like over here, so that's Memphis. 106 miles to Memphis, let's do it. Oh, our station wagon, it's annihilated, so let's go ahead and use some of this stuff to repair it. We're also going to get health back, hopefully, while we sit here. I wish we could choose who we wanted to send out, rather than it just always being me. Okay, that's a successful repair. Let's go for 2 more. Come on. There it is, and 1 more. If we get 3 in a row, I will be very, very happy. So hopefully that's the way the cookie crumbles on this one. I gotta stop talking about cookies. I'm making myself hungry. Cookies are amazing. Everybody loves cookies. So repair successful. Okay, the cookie has crumbled nicely onto our ice cream. So now we can leave this location. Let's get to Memphis before we break off this episode. I don't wanna break it off too early. So we get caught in a blizzard. It's gonna cost us a little bit of health as we go along. We're gonna need to acquire some med kits though. By hook or by crook, we gotta grab ourselves some healing gear. Luckily, the cave, or wherever we just were, was not so far from Memphis. This is a short drive. You start to get a little bit of a gap in between your locations as you start to move further and further west. Gazer has typhoid again, unfortunately, but we made it to Memphis. So, alas, although our buddy has found himself ill, this is where we're going to break off the episode. So, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for the 2nd episode of our Oregon Trail playthrough. I hope you're enjoying it, and it's been a lot of fun for me. I'm enjoying the challenges of the game on difficult. It's definitely more difficult, to say the least. So, I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody, and I'll have new content for you tomorrow.